Hello. Hello, everybody. How are you? Trinace Richardson here. We are about to have an amazing conversation with an amazing woman. So I hope you are ready. I am just sharing to a couple of places, and I hope that you're doing the same. You can find us on my personal page on Facebook, our Real Women Rock public Facebook page, and our Real Women Rock YouTube page. So please share this out with someone. Hello. Let me know that you're here as well. You know, this is our time to be interactive. And I have questions for you all. I hope that you have comments and questions for me. This is our opportunity to be a community. Welcome to Real Women Rock's Facebook live chat, now on YouTube. This is our opportunity to get a sneak peek into a real conversation with real women. And we do this every Thursday night. I do know it's Thursday. Every Thursday night. You all know with COVID, your days have been running together in the week. So I'm just saying. All right. So we do this every Thursday at 8:00 p.m. And so we're on just a couple of minutes early to give you an opportunity to share this out with someone. Hello, Kiana. You all say hello to me. Let me know that you are here and that you are ready to enjoy this conversation with this amazing woman. We are Real Women Rock, and we call ourselves that because we rock. But we exist to create a safe space for women to do personal development work on themselves. We do that through sister circles. And so we host pre-COVID in-person sister circles across the country and abroad. We do them, hey. We do them kind of one-offs. We call them Real Women on the Road when we travel to other states and other countries. We've been to Okinawa, Japan. We've been all across the United States. And then we had in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, Northern Virginia, Hampton Roads, Virginia area, we would host monthly in-person sister circles every single month. And so we've trained facilitators to help us facilitate those sister circles. And since COVID, we have moved all of that online. So we are inviting you, to every woman who is listening, to attend our virtual sister circles free of charge. We are there monthly, once a month. And it just so happens that this coming Saturday, I am so looking forward to facilitating our theme, Don't Lose You in a Relationship. I'll let that rest with you for a second. So this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be talking about not losing you in a relationship of any kind, maybe marriage, maybe dating, maybe a family parenting kind of relationship, and girlfriends. When you're a good friend, when you're a good sister to people, sometimes you lose yourself in helping other people. Maybe it's your role that you wear. You're a minister, maybe you're a leader, and you've just lost yourself in the midst of that. Whatever relationship you find yourself losing yourself in, let's talk about it this Saturday at 11 a.m. All of the information can be found at Real Women Rock Girl. Isn't it a good topic? We are going to have a really good time, because what we do is we really talk, have a really good time. And you're not just listening to me. You're not just listening to the facilitator. We get to hear each other. You can just sit and soak it in, or you can share some thoughts or questions as you go along. So the information is at realwomenrock.org or any of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we would love to have you join us. It's a Zoom link. You have to go get the Zoom link and join us. All right. But tonight we have an amazing opportunity to really connect. The theme is God helps those who help themselves. And I wanted to have someone come and join us who is absolutely amazing. First of all, self-made, and has garnered so much attention for so many wonderful things. And so I'm going to bring her on now I want to just make sure she can blush while I'm sharing a whole bunch about Malena, because we not only have a spiritual coach with us, we have a best-selling author see, I got my book ready, A Fistful of Honey. If you have not picked up this book, you want to do it. She has been coached by Iyanla Vanzant herself, and there is just so much about Malena that is absolutely amazing. Her story is amazing, and the work that she's been able to produce as a result is amazing. So I'm so honored to be here with you, sister. You want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I am so honored.
Yeah, we're in community together in a lot of different spaces, but I don't know if we've ever done this. And so this will be a really good opportunity for us to chat, and we get to do it in front of both of our audiences. So I'm really excited to share with you today. Would you mind, in your own words, sharing about the work that you do, anything about your personal life, anything you want to share for us to get to know you a bit?
Yeah, sure. So all of my work is around transformation. That's my absolute passion. Helping women to transform whatever it is that they want to transform. I believe that we're all alchemists, okay? Turning gold from lead, you know. So my lead experiences were, I had a lot of chaos, poverty, all kinds of things growing up.
Yeah.
And so, I just made a huge transition in my consciousness and who I was. And that resulted in a 6-figure business. It's resulted in the novel, A Fistful of Honey. And actually, much of A Fistful of Honey, although it's fiction, is my own story of transformation. I speak around the world on transformation. I have the Honey Process, which is all about healing and really getting to the other side. So,
yeah. Oh, that is good. That is good. So I'm going to ask, because our audience knows this is interactive. So whether you are live right now or whether you are watching the replay, just let us know you're watching the replay and engage and ask questions and answer questions. I sure will tell you. So it is called A Fistful of Honey. Put it up close for you to see. A Fistful of Honey. It is absolutely amazing. I believe the foreword, I think, is by Iyanla, or at least commented on it.
She's got a blurb on there.
Yeah. And so, and I only say that for the sake of association, so that you know that you need to get this book. Hello, somebody. It is amazing. And to know that the connection, I didn't know that picking up the book, that it is connected to your story. So it makes it even more meaningful. I'm asking you to just send your loving energy my way, because I am writing a book right now, and it's not fiction. It is more of a personal memoir. And I have contributed to books, and I have compiled book anthologies, but this is all my words. And so I need all the good juju.
Yeah, that's so juicy. It is done. It is done. It's done. Bestseller.
Yes. Yes. Speaking,
right,
Malena.
Yes. Bestseller. I don't see any chat yet. So
yep.
I'm sure there is.
You're good. So I will keep looking in the chat. I'm going to ask you guys something. I did answer one chat already. What is the title of the book? And a couple of comments about some of my announcements. I'll keep an eye out on my end for you, and then you can let me know if you get any on your end. But I want to know from you all, as I begin to discuss this with Malena and ask her a couple of questions. I really want to know if you have experienced major transformation and change in your life. Like, have you noticed, not just the way that all of us grow up and, you know, get older and maybe a little wiser, but have you noticed any points in your life where there were major pivots or major transformations? And if so, speak to that a little bit in the chat. Talk to us a little bit about your transformation story while we ask Malena to talk to us a little bit about it. I'm going to ask you, Malena, if you wouldn't mind, because I know that some folks who are listening now or later can relate. If you could share a little bit about your personal story of transformation.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've had so many. So I think the ones that gave me the most character and allow me to be who I am have been through relationships. Painful breakups. One of them was with my daughter's father. And in that process, I had to grow as a woman. I had to really, really dig into who I was. Because my biggest fear was being a single mom. And then my biggest fear was manifested.
Wow.
And so I really had to discover my strength. I really had to check my beliefs, my limiting beliefs, and then of course, being a mother is one of the biggest transforming roles that we have, you know, being a caretaker to someone else and guiding someone else. So that was huge. And then actually telling my story, like on TV, like here on Facebook, like to everybody, like the truth, really? Putting my baby, my blood, sweat, and tears and my heart into the world to be criticized, that was a humongous transformation. And just writing the book was an act of faith. Because a lot of it was whispered to me by God, you know, and so I had to have the faith and the discipline to do it. And I'm sure you'll find as you write your book and as you put that out in the marketplace, that it will transform you. Maybe like nothing else, but in a beautiful, beautiful way.
I just want to say, because thank you for sharing that. I heard so much in what you just said. What struck me is in the moments of transformation, you had to have the courage and take the risk to, first of all, be still and quiet and hear God's voice. And then to jump out and honor what you feel and felt you were being led to or say or be in the world. And just having that quietness to be able to hear, that stillness to be able to hear clearly. Was there ever a time when there was too much noise and you couldn't hear and you had to get still and quiet to hear? I know a lot of the women in our circles, they tell us, you know, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, or I don't know what I don't know what decision to make about this relationship because there's nothing, I don't have any peace. I'm confused. I'm frustrated. How do you suggest folks get that quiet and stillness? Did you experience that?
Yeah. So writing the book is kind of a different story because I couldn't write any further unless I had clarity. That was the deal. I couldn't even write another chapter until I got clarity. But with life experiences, you just have to take that stillness. You have to take that space. You have to claim that space. It's going to require that you stand up for your life, no matter who it is. Because that's where the next step is, our vision. And you can't get that vision or really be clear on your alignment until you take that space to be still and quiet.
You said stand up for your life. And oftentimes as women, we stand up for a whole lot of other people. We will give our best to everybody else, our job, our ministry, whatever it is we're working on. We'll give it before we stand up and make ourselves a priority. So I'm so glad you shared that. You mentioned, and you've said it already at least 10 times, the word transformation. And that's how you know when something is just kind of so deep rooted, it's a part of your DNA, when you just can't, talk about anything else. But could you talk about kind of how to begin right where you are? Why this work of transformation is so important to you? That's where I want to start. Why is it so important for all of us to focus on?
Yeah, well, transformation is growth. I believe that each one of us has a purpose on earth. But it's not always so sweet and peaches and cream and you just get here and do your thing and, you become rich and famous and loved by all. No, there's usually a process that God takes us through, that Holy Spirit takes us through, and that is a transformation. And so when we start where we are, it usually involves pain. And that's the part that, a lot of us we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to, the change hurts or the change, but you'll feel when life is too small for you.
Yeah.
You'll feel when the relationships around you are no longer serving you or are hurting you. And those are all like those little whispers that we get. It's time for transformation. It's time to do something different. And most importantly, it's time to be someone different. Yeah. So when you see your life bleeding, by bleeding, I mean it hurts. It's out of balance. It's happening too many times. It is becoming a negative habit. Those are all invitations for us to transform, to get to the next level. Yeah.
When you see your life bleeding, so some of us have been experiencing pain. We've been experiencing a push or a pull, and we know if we sit still enough, we can admit it to ourselves. But at our deepest core, I think we know it's time for a change in some area of our lives. I'll give you a very practical example. I hibernate in the winter, right? So I don't do much outside because I don't like the cold. I want to change my language about it, but not yet, because it's true. I just don't like the cold. And so because of that, I hibernate, and hibernation comes with some stuff for me. It doesn't have to, but it comes with comfort foods. It comes with snuggling up and getting under covers, and the wonderful fit person that I am and like to be and envision for myself. And when I'm my best self, I'm not that person when I'm hibernating, because I'm very rarely moving. And the sun kind of makes me want to move and to be active. So it's when, for me, I am feeling the sluggishness in my body, in my mind, even in my spirit, that I know it's time to get out of this hibernation. I almost feel like, I feel like some of the animals probably when they transition from winter to spring, I feel that shift inside of me. And then thank goodness the weather has allowed for me to do what I like to do, the way that I like to do it, to get outside. But I feel that shift. And I think if all of us honor that, we can feel it inside of us, that our emotions tell us it's time to move. Our body tells us, our mind tells us it's time to do something different. I love that, when your life is bleeding. So I have a question up right now, asking our audience, have you been waiting on God for something, right? Because some of us, I'm a minister, Christian minister. I'm been raised in church, and many of us been taught to just wait on God. When we want something, we wait on God. Some of what I've read from you is that there is this idea of transformation is about activation. It's about you doing something. Hence, the God helps those who help themselves. So,
Right.
have you ever heard of folks waiting on God? What do you think they mean? Do you understand what we mean when we say it? Because I'm gonna say I've said it. And what does that mean to you? How do we reckon waiting on God versus us moving forward for ourselves?
Yeah. So I do want to say at some points, we are waiting from a word from God. So I don't want to make this blanket statement that we never have to wait on God. But what I found is a lot of times what that means is I don't have clarity. And I'm not either I'm not deciphering the messages from God to get my clarity, or I've gotten the word from God, but I'm afraid to move. So then we put that on God. We put our stalling on God. Or I'm not willing to do the work required to go to the next step. I'm afraid to fail.
Yeah.
I'm afraid what other people will say. Or it's just simply I'm resistant to change. So I'm gonna wait on God. I'm gonna wait on God until God sits next to me on the sofa and shares this bowl of popcorn, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah.
That's
it's going down. Yeah. So sometimes it is necessary to wait, and we've had the directive to wait, but a lot of times it is stalling by proxy, stalling by divine proxy. I'll call it that.
That's a good word. The idea that we are afraid of what we've been told. I agree with you. I think that it's not everybody's plan. I personally know that when I say I'm waiting on God, I am looking for that first part of what you said, clarity. But I also know that sometimes I've gotten the clarity and I was like, ooh, no, you can't, not that. Did you? You didn't mean that, did you? I was like, I'm gonna wait for another word.
Right.
I'm gonna wait
Let's ask again.
I'm gonna wait for another answer because you couldn't have been that. So I appreciate that, just call us out like that, because it really is needed we need to acknowledge it so that we can move past it. And so I'll just ask you, what is your suggestion? How do we move past the idea of just waiting, passively waiting? Because like you said, there is some period of time where we are seeking, where we are, looking for clarity. And so we get still, we get quiet, and then in my opinion, I think it's sort of like, when you get settled in your spirit about something, like there's a peace that comes over you about something, even if you don't like the answer that you're getting. I have had to separate my people and institutions, and I didn't like it, but I was clear. My life was bleeding, and I knew it was time. But what's the do of that? How do we do that? How do we move past the waiting stage into activation?
So we give God an action to support. So I look at my relationship with God as a partnership. So God works in the spirit, I work in the physical. God works in the spirit, we work in the physical. So I must, as part of my responsibility, give God an action to support here in this physical earth. So to do that, even when you don't want to, even when you are afraid of the directive that you've gotten, you're going to have courage, number one. And know that whatever vision God gave you, he also gave you the provision to make it happen.
Yeah.
So even though we're afraid, keep moving and know that you'll be supported. So, and if you don't have clarity, if you truly do not have clarity, that's the time to pray with your feet.
Whew.
Right? So we all have things that we've tried, and trial and error, we kind of carve it out into this masterpiece. Like, for instance, writing a fiction book was never my plan.
Yeah.
I love to write, but that wasn't my plan to write a novel. I was going to write a nonfiction book on something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started writing and I started networking, and God turned that thing into what it was truly supposed to be, to bless other people. Yeah. So another thing is, hold yourself gently as you push forward. Right? So have a lot of compassion for yourself as you push forward, but don't let yourself off the hook. Know that this next level is part of your development. It's part of the prosperity that God wants to bless you with. It's the unknown blessing. You have no idea what's on the other end of your obedience.
Yeah.
What's on the other end of your transformation. Your gold is not just there to bless you and your family, but it could be a whole legacy of riches that you're leaving behind because of your obedience and your yes.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I need to let a couple of things that you said breathe and be heard on a deeper level than just our ears, because I'll make sure they're seen again. We give God an action to support, and so that helps me become active. It helps activate me, because I know that whatever I'm waiting on God for, God is waiting on me to take a step so that he can support me. Like, it's like, it's like a little baby. When my son was small, you got kids. When my son was small, we said, come on. And I'm right here. I'm here to help you, but you got to take a step in order for me to help you and support you in your walking. I love that. And then if we don't have clarity, pray with our feet. And I love that, because so many things are prayer to me now, Malena. Most folks, who follow us at all know I've been in a yoga teacher training journey for the last 9 months, and it's been a beautiful journey. But what I've learned is that my yoga flow is prayer, that a song is prayer, that me exercising, taking care of my body, and spending time with my family. It's a version of prayer, because I am communing something. Whatever is divine for me, whatever is connecting me closer to God is communion and prayer for me. So I love that action can bring about clarity, and that is drawing you closer to God. Okay. I'll stop talking for a second, because I could go on from what you just said. Keanu said, I've waited on God for a blueprint of my future plans and discovered that I was trying to take control instead of letting go and letting God. Ooh, that is good.
That's so good. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you to just share any words of advice you have. Even if it's piggybacking on what you shared already, but we are seeking in our community, those who tune in to us, to transform for the better. We are seeking to connect with others in a meaningful way, to grow our personal confidence in who God has called us to be and what God has called us to do, and to be a catalyst of positive change in the lives of others around us. And so that calls us to be bigger. I believe it's like more of ourselves, right? Best of ourselves is what we're trying to do. What are your last words of advice for us as it relates to just that?
I'm sorry, you trailed off a little. I heard are my last words as it relates to?
Yeah, I can answer again. I'm sorry. I'll get closer. As it relates to our transformation process, what would your final words of advice be to us?
Trust yourself.
Ooh.
I want you to trust yourself. Trust what you know. Trust what you've heard. Most importantly, trust what your heart desires. And know that you're worthy of moving forward. That desire within you, that's in your heart, that, in my wholehearted belief, is God's desire. So move forward knowing that you have that blessing. Move forward knowing that it's going to lead to something that's going to be monumental for you. So trust yourself.
Trust yourself. And that is so, you said that what we desire, what we envision for ourselves, that you believe that is God's desire for us. I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe that we are created with free will, and God doesn't allow, I'll speak for myself, God does not allow me to imagine anything that is not possible for myself. And then I get the opportunity to just decide and choose what I'm going to go for, what I'm, but that idea of waiting for someone to show me the answer or show me the way, I understand it because I've said it and I've lived it for a long time, but that left me not being an active participant in my transformation.
Yes.
And so I love the idea of trusting yourself. That is beautiful. Can you believe it's been 30 minutes?
I can. It flew right by.
It really does fly by. I so appreciate you being here. Could you please share? Because I know some folks that are popping on who just, who are in community with us, who love you, who support us here, who will know how to connect with you, but so many of us won't necessarily. How do we connect with you? What do you have happening if we want to continue reaching out to you? I'm going to start finish where I started and say, go get the book, A Fistful of Honey. It still lives and breathes. When did you write this, Malena?
2017. And
it is still alive and breathing. Yes. Doing really well. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you can reach me on my website, malenacrawford.com. But I want you to email me because I'm actually having a group program on transformation. So my passion, as you've heard a million times here, is really helping women manifest what they want in transforming. You can get the book. Hey,
whoa, put yours back up. Okay.
On Amazon. A Fistful of Honey. I believe it's on Barnes and Noble also. And I also have a workbook up there. How else can you reach me? All of my social media is at Malena Crawford. You can also go, this is long. So, it's MALENA Crawford.com.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Trust me, I'm used to this. People pronounce my name and I'm used to it, but it's Malena.
And I know that.
MALENA.
It's still not right. All of the old one. Go ahead. I'm fixing it.
All of my social media is at Malena Crawford. Malena Crawford for IG. Then if you really want a dose of goodness every single day, you can go to, this is long now.
I'm ready.
The Black, Divine, Feminine, Reawakened here on Facebook. Just about every day, you will get a quote, you will get a painting, you will get something that will speak directly to your soul, to encourage you, to remind you of who you are. My my whole goal and intention with that was to revolutionize the way that Black women, especially, see and experience ourselves in this world. So hit that up and yeah, join me for the group. I would love to have you. It's going to be phenomenal.
And
Women who are,
someone wants your email address.
yes, it is Malena at malenacrawford.com.
Got it.
Yeah, so that will start up in the springtime. And yeah, I believe in community. I believe in the synergy of community. And so all kinds of miracles happen when we get together.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I am so encouraged by this conversation because it gives me the confirmation that trusting myself is divine. It is God's plan for me, that I can trust my gut, my intuition, my heart. And I really appreciate you doing that for us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank everyone watching. I've had such a good time here.
Yeah. Well, we will give you back your evening, all of us. But we like to give you a sneak peek into a real conversation with real women. Please join us again. We're here every Thursday night that we have a guest at 8 p.m. Invite others to join us. Please consider joining us this Saturday at 11 a.m. We will be talking about not losing you in a relationship. And how many of us have done that, right? And so what that looks like and how to transform out of that, and to be fully found within ourselves. We're going to have a lot of good discussion around that this Saturday at 11 a.m. For more information, go to realwomenrock.org. And again, you can, I think, find that right there, realwomenrock.org. Thank you all again for being with us tonight. And thank you, Malena. Love you.
Thank you. Love you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.